Hey everyone, this is Max and Max TCG. Thanks for joining me in another video. So in this video, we have some new support to look at from your organization. This is going to be field spell support. It's pretty interesting. I have read through this, and I think there's some interesting cards and kind of a starting point, but I do think the cards do need a little bit more work. But let's go through them together, discuss through them, and you guys let me know what you guys think in the comments. I love hearing your guys' different thoughts on the cards and seeing if there's any difference from my opinion and if there's anything I missed. So enter a whole new universe with field spell support. This is Legacy of Destruction. Welcome Ashen to the Krishnerd initiative. You have Krishnerd Witch, level 4 light spellcaster effect monster. Attack 1800, defense 700. Cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects while multiverse is on the field. You can only use each of the following effects of Krishnerd Witch once per turn. A card or cards in the field zone leaves the field by a card effect. Except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. When a field spell is already face up on the field, activates its effect. Quick effect. You can shuffle one of your monsters that is banished or in your graveyard into the deck, or if that monster mentions that field spell, you can special summon it instead. So first card seems interesting. It does have ways to get itself out and a quick effect, but I don't know exactly how great it is. It says if a card leaves the field zone by card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. So that could be through any way, your opponent destroying it, you destroying it. It's a free special summon. It kind of depends how easy it is to remove the field spell by card effect. And then it says when a field spell is already face up on the field, you have a quick effect that you can shuffle one of your monsters that's banished or in your grave into the deck, and if that monster is mentioned on the field spell, you can special summon it instead. So it's kind of like two parts to this effect, and I think we got to find out how it works together, because part of it is if a field spell leaves the field, you get the special, but then if there's a field spell on the field, then you get this quick effect. And it really only works well if it's in a deck where the field spell is mentioned in the card, so you can special summon those cards out, hopefully a trigger based card, and then you get your searches, or some type of effect on summon. So it kind of has the makings to be a good card, but it just seems a little awkward right now. So I'm not sure if there's like the perfect deck for this card, but if we can find something good for it, I think it could be playable. So next we have Jungle Dweller, level 8 Dark Fiend effect monster. Attack 2500, defense 1800. Cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special by card effect. While there are 2 cards in the field zone, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. You can use each of the following effects of Jungle Dweller once per turn. You can banish one light or dark from your graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. If this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by a card effect, you can shuffle the 2 field spells from your graveyard or banishment into the deck, and you destroy up to that many cards your opponent controls. So this definitely has some interesting kind of components to it. So far I think this one's a little easier to play, and still pretty strong in like a field spell kind of deck that this seems to be working towards. While there's 2 field spells, this can't be targeted with card effects by your opponent. That's pretty nice. If you start with field spell, pretty easy to probably summon this card out. And then it has a pretty easy summoning condition where you just got to banish one light or dark from your graveyard. So very easy to pull off for most decks that are going to be using light or darks. And then it also has a destruction effect that if it's destroyed by your opponent's card, you can shuffle 2 of your field spells, either banished or graves. So I think that's cool. To recur some banished resources, and then destroy it to that many cards your opponent controls. So if they do beat over it, you get another kind of protection effect. Usually these types of effects aren't that great, just because they're pretty slow and your opponent could potentially play around them. Ideally with like more quick effects, things we can trigger whenever we want. But overall, this seems like a pretty solid card for what it's trying to do. But again, it's about finding that synergy for where these cards fit. Alright, next we have Multi-Universe field spell card. Activate only if you do not control a face-up card in your field zone. You can target one field spell that is banished or in either graveyard, destroy this card, and if you do, place the targeted card face-up in your field zone. You can only use this effect in Multiverse once per turn. If a card or cards in the field zone would be destroyed by card effect, you can banish this card from your grave instead. So this is interesting. It does work well with the first card because it mentions Multiverse, so you could technically bring another copy of the first monster back from the grave. The one thing I don't necessarily like is in a field spell deck where so many field spells are searchers, this one really only helps you with like recursion and destruction. So I don't know how strong that is, unfortunately. I guess it would be kind of crazy if the field spell deck that works with other field spells to then kind of benefit off these field spells and also searches. Maybe that's too much. But for what we're seeing for the start of the support, I think it's interesting and maybe has some potential. And we got to see, what do these go in? What can they boost? Is there anything that makes this really scary or degenerate? So I am curious to see how these cards are going to affect the game. Again, I think they have a good standing. for kind of their starting point, and hopefully get more cards to maybe flesh out this idea or archetype in the future. Everyone, well, that's it for this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one, and I'll see you there.